Keith Locke.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. The Green Party will be voting against this bill. We put in a minority report alongside the Labour Party, a Labour and Green minority report on this bill, because it is a big step backwards for the people of New Zealand. The thing that seems to be lacking is any concern with people's well-being. And there is a whole trend in politics today of not just measuring everything by money and GDP, but actually looking at the quality of life that people have. And one of the things that's been under the Green logo in the past has been the slogan, quality of life. And my Green colleague, Kennedy Graham, had a bill before the Parliament, which unfortunately didn't get the government support, Public Finance Sustainable Development Indicators Amendment Bill. And one of the concepts behind that is taking into account environmental, social factors, the good things of life, and not just looking at everything in terms of the amount of goods produced and money. There's a whole history of developing what are called genuine progress indicators, indexes of well-being, and in Canada there's a law that actually has that as a guideline, well-being as a guideline. And all that leads to a concept under this bill of leisure. Leisure is important. We want, as we move forward in this, Mr Speaker, just a continuing barrage here. It's not acceptable.
Keith Locke.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. What this bill does is it reduces our leisure time, and the progress that we've made to get 4 weeks and the progress that's been made in other countries which have got 4 and 5 weeks. France has 5 weeks and the people there, and a 35-hour working week, whereas in New Zealand people work on average more than 40 hours a week, even though 170 years ago Samuel Parnell went on strike for the 8-hour day or the 40-hour week. So in some ways we're moving backwards, even though the productivity of our economy has gone ahead in leaps and bounds. So the idea that it's some step forward to sell off one of your 4 weeks holiday is completely unacceptable. It's not just a question of choice, and it shouldn't be a question of choice. People should be paid sufficiently so that they don't sell off the leisure time that the whole society is moving towards. And the question of the sick day is again not a question of choice. It's reducing choice. It's
A point of order, Honourable Perekura Horami.
Well, Mr Speaker, I was a bit concerned at the comment made by the member from Tauranga that workers will continue to fork out for beneficiaries a lot more. I'm not too sure what he was insinuating.
I'm not sure what the member's doing with that as a point of order, because it isn't one. Keith Locke.
Thank you. And the requiring a medical certificate for 1 day sick is completely unreasonable and practical. It's unreasonable because it just makes the person sicker if they have to get out of bed and go to the doctor. It makes the people in the doctor's surgery sick because they might catch an infection. And it encourages people to not even bother with that and go to work when they are sick, to become sicker and to infect their workmates. And it is impractical too, because in many cases it's just not possible to get an appointment with a doctor on that particular day, as the Green Party discovered when it did a survey on this question. And the other point in the bill about transferring holidays from the traditional ones, Christmas Day, etc., to perhaps another day, that undermines an essential element of the leisure built into our statutory holidays systems, that the whole family can be together on a Christmas Day, on a Boxing Day, at Easter, if you have all sorts of provisions to transfer holidays off those days, you haven't got that community feeling, that family feeling of quiet days in the year. And I think really, and I was disappointed that Kate Williamson in the question period today rejected the idea of Mondayising Anzac Day and Waitangi Day, because we already Monday-ise Christmas Day and Boxing Day, and it's perfectly acceptable to do that. It doesn't mean that we don't celebrate Christmas on the 25th of December, but we do have an extra, if it's on a weekend, Christmas Day or Boxing Day, we have holidays on the Monday and Tuesday, and that's how it could be with Waitangi Day and Anzac Day. I think we should have a vision of a future where we're working less, not more. And unfortunately, this bill goes the other way around. And it won't lead to advances in workers' wages. If one factory, for example, producing some form of engineering product, the workers there are pushed into or convinced to sell off a week of their holiday, and get a bit of a wage increase. In another factory producing the same products, the workers don't sell off their holiday. I'm pretty sure that you'll still find that the competition between the workers for their labour and the employers in those two firms will be in terms of an hourly rate, and the hourly rate will equalise between the two as time goes on. But one set of workers would have sold off their annual holiday and the other set would not have. And when you tie all this in with the 90-day provision in the bill, the pressure will be, through that 90-day provision exercised over a section of the workforce, to have them to sell off their holidays, to pressure to bring sick notes, all of the disadvantages of that 90-day, the previous bill we were discussing, the 90-day provision, they will tend to apply to make workers accept a reduction of their annual holidays, shifting holidays off the existing statutory holidays, and also being forced for unreasonable reasons to go to the doctor for 1 day's absence. And that is not where we should be going. We should be more like countries like France, 5 weeks holiday, 35 hours a week, and they had big mobilisations to protect their pension system. We should be determined to not only protect what we've got, but to advance it, to improve leisure in this society, to be able to share around work, to have the flexible working hours. That's another aspect of quality of life that was in the bill that my colleague Sue Kedgley put before this Parliament, and unfortunately was also knocked over by this present government. We did have many submissions to the Select Committee, particularly on the idea of the employers being able to require a sick note for 1 day's absence, when in the law already employers can do that if there is a reason, a real reason, like someone taking 10 consecutive Mondays off or whatever and having 3-day weekends. But submission after submission said how onerous this would be, how impractical it would be, and surely the government should listen to what the people say on matters such as this. I think we want to be known, and in some ways New Zealand, if you look at the image of New Zealand, the cream green image of New Zealand, it is an image of a country that's desirable to come to, not only in terms of its environment, but in terms of its relaxed and friendly people and all that sort of thing. We're creating very much the opposite image internationally if we say we're going to, in effect, reduce the holidays that people have, be much tighter on them, taking time off work when they're sick, and all those sorts of things. That's the wrong image that we want to portray to the world. Thank you.